We had a quick break from the active weather across the state of Texas, but I'm afraid the fire danger is back. The chance for rain, snow, and storms going into Saturday and the next week. Looks like we're going to be particularly busy, especially the second half of the week. Let's talk about it in this Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Hello, hello. It is Thursday, the 6th of March, 2025. I am Texas Weather Center's Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. It is going to be a windy day across the state of Texas. Southerly winds making their return, helping to bring some moisture back to the eastern half of the state, especially as we get into Friday. But what that means is we're also going to be dealing with very high to extreme wildfire danger, especially across the western half of Texas. Going through this afternoon, early this evening, very high fire danger. Places like the northwest Texas region, North Texas, the Hill Country, Central Texas, the Hill Country, South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains, western half of the state, Panhandle, West Texas, Big Country, Concho Valley, Edwards Plateau, and then the Big Bend. Extreme fire danger, the borderland, far west Texas, El Paso, Davis, Guadalupe Mountains, the Trans-Pecos. Going into Friday, fire danger will shift west a bit as we start to see moisture return to the eastern half of the state from the Gulf of Mexico, but we're still going to have very high to extreme fire danger, western half of Texas. Then Saturday is going to shift things south. The lowest fire danger comparatively will be the northeastern two-thirds of Texas, while very high to extreme fire danger is expected in the Rio Grande Plains, South Texas, the Edwards Plateau, Hill Country, back into the Big Bend, far west Texas, the Davis Mountains. So any ongoing fires that aren't contained will have to deal with that, and we're going to be watching for new ignitions closely over the next several days. Here's the high-res rapid refresh model going into this evening and Friday. You can see we are going to see an uptick in cloud cover across the state on Friday. That is going to be thanks to the approach of our upper-level storm system. You can see actually in reality the first half of the day may actually clear things out a bit. Then we're going to start seeing an uptick in cloud cover. You can see maybe some scattered showers, maybe even a few storms going into Friday night in northwest Texas, Texoma, North Texas. Notice, though, in the Panhandle, precipitation is expected, but it is not going to be liquid. We are anticipating temperatures will be cold enough to support snow in the Panhandle, even parts of West Texas. And yes, that will involve accumulations. It looks like we are expecting some disruptions to travel and the probability increasing for a couple inches of snow, especially in the western Texas Panhandle, into parts of West Texas. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. As we take a look at the Saturday to Sunday time frame, you can see snow in the Panhandle Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon. Some of that rain in northwest Texas may be able to mix with snow at times going into Saturday evening. We're not expecting any significant accumulations out there. The opportunity for scattered showers and storms will continue across Texoma, North Texas, Northeast Texas, maybe even down into Southeast Texas Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, where we may have some storms capable of producing dime to nickel to quarter-sized hail, about 3/4 of an inch to an inch in diameter. That chance for precipitation will end going into Sunday morning with clearing skies from west to east. It's going to actually be a pretty nice day on Sunday across nearly all, if not all, of the state of Texas. Here's the severe weather outlook going into Saturday. You can see the Storm Prediction Center highlighting the potential for isolated severe storms capable of mainly producing some hail around 1 inch in diameter, maybe in North Texas, East Texas, the Brazos Valley, Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle. And this isn't a guarantee. This is more of a conditional risk, and it may be removed in later outlook updates if things trend downward. But at this point, this does not look like a significant severe weather threat. Certainly not something to the level we dealt with back on Tuesday across the state. So we'll keep an eye on that. His forecast precip totals over the next 5 days. This takes us through Monday. You can see we are expecting up to about a half inch of liquid equivalent rain in the Panhandle. I say liquid equivalent because a lot of that's going to fall as snow and then melt, but still it'll probably at least give some soil saturation, which is good, soil moisture. Expecting between 1/4 to maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain. Northwest Texas, the Big Country, Texoma, North Texas, the Arklatex, Northeast Texas, into East Texas. You can see the southwestern half of the state isn't going to see a thing from this. And rain totals by the time you're down into places like Abilene, Brownwood, Austin, Bryan College Station, Houston, you might see 1/10 of an inch of rain out of this. So just enough to really dampen the ground. And not much more. Now, as we take a look at snow, here is the probability for at least 2 inches of snow going into Saturday. You can see we're looking at a 40 to 80% chance of 2 inches or more of snow accumulation across really the western 2/3 of the Texas Panhandle, including places like Dalhart, Dumas, Amarillo, Vega, Pampa, Borger, Perryton, with lower chances farther east. And again, this would have the potential to create slick travel conditions Friday night into Saturday. And we may also, given the fact it's March, we're going to have wind. Some of the snow is going to get blown around and likely reduce visibility. We may have some blowing snow, even though this will likely be a wetter type of snow that's not blown around as easily. It's still going to reduce visibility. So we take a look at areas a bit farther south. You could see about 1 to 2 inches of snow along and north of a line from, what is that? I can't even read that. Now, let's just say Clovis, New Mexico to Tulia to Silverton, points north. And then there may be, maybe a dusting to half-inch of snow north of a line from Morton over to Crosbyton. If we go on the overperforming side of this, we could actually see several inches of snow in those regions, with even a bit of snow down into Lubbock, maybe even parts of northwest Texas, but that is only a 1 in 10 chance of occurring. So we'll keep an eye on it, of course, but that would be the overzealous, overperforming element if it does occur. Now here's the longer-range American weather model global forecast system taking us into next week. As you can see, Monday is going to be spectacular across the state of Texas. Clear skies, winds are not looking particularly obnoxious. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be warm too, it looks like. As we go into Tuesday, similar story. We start to see a few changes going into Tuesday night, Wednesday with the approach of an upper-level storm system. We're going to see cloud cover begin to increase across the state, maybe even the chance for a few showers and thunderstorms eastern third of the state Wednesday afternoon. And then as we get into the extended range towards next Friday, there is a pretty good amount of long-range weather model agreement in the ensembles and deterministic weather models, which is a fancy way of saying a lot of the data is suggesting another very strong upper-level storm system is going to move across the plains with another area of deepening low pressure, which could result in another high wind event across the western half of the state the second half of next week. That could result in blowing dust. We may have some chance for storms across the eastern parts of the state, but we'll deal with that as that time draws closer. But again, it's March. It is the time of year where we deal with these more dynamic wind-driven type systems, which can bring very high fire danger, blowing dust, and all that obnoxiousness that we dealt with several days ago. Hopefully not to the level of what we dealt with several days ago, because that was a little excessive. And by a little, I mean that was extremely annoying. Here's high temperatures going into this afternoon. You can see 60s, eastern quarter of the state, 70s, rest of the state, unless you're in the Permian Basin, Rio Grande Plains, Rio Grande Valley, South Texas, or the Big Bend. Y'all are going to be in the 80s this afternoon. Congratulations. Going into tomorrow, things warm up. We're looking at 80s, North Texas, Central Texas, the Hill Country, into the Brazos Valley, Southeast Texas, 90s in the Edwards Plateau, Rio Grande Plains, South Texas. We're looking at 95 in Laredo, 67 in El Paso, out in the borderland, 60s in the Panhandle and West Texas, 70s everywhere else. Going into Saturday, cool front moves south. It's the battle of seasons. How about highs just above freezing in the Panhandle of Texas with snow? Meanwhile, it's going to be in the mid-90s in the Rio Grande Valley with 93 Saturday afternoon in McAllen as the cold front continues to push south. This will be a day where some folks in the Hill Country, Central Texas, Northeast Texas, and East Texas may experience their high temperatures during the morning hours. Going into Sunday, you can see much cooler across the southern half of the state with about a 15 to 20 degree drop in high temperatures. Northern half of the state, you'll actually probably be a bit warmer than you are on Saturday with the departure of our storm system and sunny skies. We're looking at highs mostly in the 50s and 60s across the state, 70s, South Texas, the Edwards Plateau, Rio Grande Plains, into the Rio Grande Valley. And then as we get back into Monday, it's like nothing happened. We're already back in the 60s and 70s as early springtime weather continues across the state of Texas. Here's the Long Range Climate Prediction Center outlook. You can see eastern half of the United States, we're looking pretty warm over the second week of March. Much cooler weather expected the western half of the continental United States, at least west of the Continental Divide. And then precipitation chances, well, everyone but us, it appears, is looking better in the rain department. We actually are not. We're looking drier than average for the second week of March, which, if true, especially with the possibility of another pretty dynamic storm system, the second half of next week could bring another round of very windy, dusty conditions to the state, along with extreme fire danger. That'll be something we carefully and closely monitor over these days ahead as we get closer into next week. That's going to be it for your Thursday edition of the Texas Roundup. As always, you can find your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, daily Texas weather roundups, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. And you can find us on our website, texasstormchasers.com. If you'd like to join our exclusive members-only Discord server, just join any membership tier on the Texas Storm Chasers or Texas Weather Center YouTube channels, and you'll get access to our members-only Discord server. And, of course, we appreciate everyone who becomes a member. You don't even have to do that, though. Just hit that subscribe button. You know, that's free. That helps us out. That will notify you when we post new content, weather videos, and live weather coverage. And it also helps tell YouTube that, hey, we're pretty awesome. Show us to more people. It's the life of a digital influencer, right? I know. But that's going to be it for this Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow with a new Texas weather roundup. Enjoy the calmer weather. Please be mindful that we are dealing with fire danger still, and we'll be keeping a close eye on that, keeping an eye out for new ignitions. But until Saturday, we are looking dry across the state of Texas. Y'all make it a good Thursday, and as always, God bless.